The whisper of war rarely starts with an explosion. It begins in boardrooms, chambers, and on factory floors, where policies and production intertwine with ambition. Today, that whisper is growing louder, echoing across the Pacific. At the heart of it lies a quiet but significant shift: the prospect of joint weapons production between the United States and Taiwan. For decades, US-Taiwan military cooperation has existed in the shadows: arms sales, joint exercises, technology transfers, conducted under a cloak of diplomatic ambiguity. Taiwan, governed by its own elected government, has long relied on American hardware, F-16s, Patriot missiles, Abrams tanks, to ward off pressure from Beijing. But now, whispers have become actions. During a high-profile visit, Senator Roger Wicker, chairman of the Senate Armed Services Committee, declared that the United States does not exclude opportunities for joint weapons production with Taiwan, including the possible co-production of drones. This burst through the diplomatic fog, turning speculation into stark reality. Only a few hours earlier, Taiwanese President Lai Ching-te had praised America's willingness to collaborate. It was a bold statement, one meant to signal resolve and deter threat, yet it ignited fury in Beijing. China's government swiftly accused Washington of provoking Taiwan's independence movement, branding the move as a violation of the One China policy. The People's Republic warned ominously, any change in status quo would cross red lines. Taiwan's defense establishment welcomed the prospect. The island's industry, centered around the National Chung-Shan Institute of Science and Technology, already develops drone helicopters, long-range missiles, and advanced radar systems. Taiwan is also critical to global semiconductor supply, making it a tech powerhouse worth protecting. Joint production with the U.S. promised to accelerate this modernization, creating a local manufacturing base that blends American design with Taiwanese innovation. In Washington, the conversation resonated in policy circles. Legislators argued that Taiwan's growing internal capabilities would provide strategic depth, future-proofing its defense. Defense News revealed ambitious proposals to fast-track arms production to fulfill Taiwan's needs and clear a growing backlog. The message was clear: deterrence begins before an attack arrives. But such a shift brings complexity. Co-production means codependence, integration, and shared blueprints, a deep intertwinement that can breed both capability and political vulnerability. Some critics warn of escalation, saying such steps risk provoking China to respond with force. That fear is not hypothetical. In recent months, the PLA has ramped up exercises around Taiwan: live fire drills, missile tests, and territory-denying maneuvers. In April 2025's Straight Thunder show of force, the Chinese carrier Shandong entered Taiwan's claimed military response zone, coming perilously close to the coastline. Taiwan scrambled jets and Navy vessels in response. China boasted later of having expelled foreign warships from the area. U.S. officials struck back at defense conferences, warning Indo-Pacific allies of China's growing threat. The U.S.-Australia joint drills expanded. Tokyo drew evacuation plans. Global media asked, is war imminent? For Taiwan, the calculus is increasingly desperate. Its economy may flourish through semiconductors, but its survival still depends on deterrence and alliances. President Lai responded by raising defense spending to nearly 3% of GDP, tightening intelligence cooperation, and doubling down on self-reliance backed by American support. Yet the specter of invasion, or a blockade, is constant. Economics, too, plays a role. U.S. policymakers see Taiwan's chip making as vital to national security, not only for Taiwan, but for America's military and tech industries. Co-producing defense components in Taiwan protects supply chains, reduces reliance on China, and creates redundancy. Meanwhile, China responds with export controls and tighter economic integration with other global partners, pushing back against containment. In one sense, every drone they co-develop is a message, every missile built together is an assertion of will. China says Taiwan must not become a military island, but behind closed doors, Beijing calculates how to counter increasing industrial integration between Taipei and Washington. For the world, the ramifications are immense. ASEAN neighbors watch uneasily, tied to trade with China but alarmed by regional militarization. The US-Taiwan axis may deter aggression, but could also deepen cleavages. Could Tokyo step closer? Will Philippine bases become more active? Could the Biden or Trump administrations escalate further, or could diplomacy subsume deterrence? Meanwhile, inside Taipei's defense labs, engineers draft plans for next-gen drone swarms. Factories retool to incorporate American components. In Congress, bills circulate proposing multi-year appropriations for munitions. On the global stage, China hosts alliances of its own. Next week, Xi Jinping will welcome Putin and Kim Jong-un in Beijing, an unmistakable display of countervailing power. The scene ahead may be dystopian, troves of silence broken by hums of drone rotors, seas bristling with naval deterrence. Yet there is also a calculated optimism. Taiwan seeks not provocation, but survival through preparedness and collaboration. America seeks not war, but to uphold democracy and freedom of navigation. This chapter, like so many before it, plays out not in headlines alone, but in factories, capitals, and living rooms. Co-production is more than hardware, it's hope forged in steel and code. The clash of systems continues. But here, at Taiwan's edge, the forging of allies in defense may determine whether peace remains, or whether deterrence slips into war.